All right. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm here with Kim Harris, who is a member of Bama Open Carry or bamacarry. I think it's an online Facebook group for gun rights advocates. Kim, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Can you tell me a little bit more about this Facebook group?
bamacarry is not just a Facebook group. We have Facebook pages, but we are the only no compromise gun group in Alabama fighting for constitutional carry and Second Amendment preservation.
Okay, so is it like, are you considered like a lobbyist group or just a organization that would?
It's just an organization, speaking up for our gun rights and educating people on what's going on in the bills and what we can do.
Will you explain a little bit about what constitutional carry is?
Yes, constitutional carry, both Andrew Sorrell's bill and Shane Stringer's bill, only seeks to change that you would need a permit at this time right now. You can open carry your gun outside, say on the in a holster on the outside of your pants, visible to everyone without a permit. But the moment that you go and take your gun in the car, you're now breaking the law, your loaded gun. To take your gun in the car legally at this point, you would have to separate the gun from the ammo, lock the gun in the glove box, and have the gun and the ammo out of reach of anyone in the car. So what good is that going to do you if, you're a single one or, I know someone who's getting stalked and what good is that going to do her when she has to stand outside her vehicle to separate her gun and her ammo and then lock it away and then get it out and put it back together outside her car? That's not going to do her any good getting stalked by her stalker. It's not going to do her any good for a carjacker. So the constitutional carry bill will just say that it's going to remove the legal requirement for you to have your loaded gun on your person, even if it's covered with a jacket or in your vehicle loaded.
So right now it's legal. You can walk around outside wherever all day long with a gun on your hip, but as soon as you get in the car or put a jacket over it, it's now concealed weapon, and without a permit you're breaking the law.
Right. You can be arrested. I had a lady named Tracy who was struggling with a dying parent, and she was running a business all day, traveling at night, and she had her permit, but in all of that going on in her life, she let it lapse. She got pulled over in Foley, Alabama, and he asked for her permit, and she handed it to him, not thinking anything of it, and didn't realize it had expired a week prior, and he seized her gun. Seized it. He took her gun. He could have taken her to jail, but he took her gun and sent her traveling alone at night by herself, unarmed.
Oh,
and this was around the timing of the officer-involved shooting at the Galleria, when mobs of people were blocking the interstate.
Yeah, 2-3 years ago.
Yeah,
somewhere around. Took her weapon. That's God. That's awful. So what about? Because you're probably getting some pushback. What about for the people out there that say, this ain't gonna do anything for the gun violence. It's only gonna help criminals. I'm sure you get that argument a lot, don't you?
Well, actually, I've never known of a criminal who went and applied for a gun permit. The story that some of the sheriffs are saying is that it is for officer safety, that a permit provides for officer safety. The problem is officers are getting shot on approach to a vehicle. How many body cam videos have you seen from an officer getting shot where he's asking for a permit? I have never yet seen one. They get shot on approach to the vehicle. And if an officer pulls someone over after hours, say after 5 p.m. in some areas, they have to take that plastic card at face value. They cannot even call in to whoever's doing the database to find out if that permit is still valid or has it been revoked. When a pistol permit is revoked, the sheriff is supposed to go out and take possession of that permit card, but they don't do it.
I bet in most of these officer-involved shootings, either the person doesn't have a permit either, do they?
Probably not. They're felons. I mean, unless they've just gone crazy, had a permit and then gone crazy or something. They don't. Crazy people and criminals do not obey the law. They are going to have their guns. Just recently in Mobile, there was a lady left Fairhope last week, headed to Mobile in her pickup truck and never made it. She has been found dead. Now, they have not completely released. There's rumors out there that she was shot. They arrested 2 people, and those 2 people are repeat offenders. Nobody protected her. The justice system is an open door for criminals. The man who killed Anaya Blanchard was out on bail for double attempted murder when he abducted and killed her.
Wow. Oh, double. I forgot about that part of it. He was out on bond for double
Abraham
attempted murder.
Yazid. Mm-hmm.
I remember that
So
now. What about for
everybody's concerned about criminal rights and they have right to bond, and everybody's concerned about officer safety, and I am too. In fact, the blue always has, but it does not protect their safety. That is a fact. And law-abiding citizens are getting caught in the middle, like Tracy, like Lauren, like the ladies that I told you who are getting stalked.
An officer told me one time, he was actually a training officer, said the people with permits are not the ones that I'm worried about with the guns. He says the people without them.
Right. And I understand the background check part of it, but you have to have a background check to go to a store and buy a gun. And yes, I know that you can buy it from an individual on the street. Where do you think criminals are getting theirs? They're getting them anyway. What about the 2 15-year-olds that were just arrested in Florida for shooting someone? 15 years old. Obviously, they didn't have a permit, nor could they go to the store and buy one.
So really, this is not really going to affect people in other ways that maybe these sheriffs are worried about losing their revenue from it?
Yes. And it is the county commission's job to fund the sheriff's department. We don't want the sheriff's department underfunded.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. No, we don't want that. What about other types of weapons like shotguns, rifles, ARs? Go ahead.
Long guns
that, or?
are legal to carry. Long guns are legal to carry without a permit in your car loaded, as the law stands now. So you can get in your car with your AR or your shotgun loaded legally now as the law stands.
Okay. That makes sense. So what got you involved in bamacarry?
Well, I got involved because with the rising crime rate, I'm a single woman. There was some crime going around. I don't know if you remember the William Boyette, Mary Rice story out of Pensacola, where he killed his girlfriend and her friend and was going around carjacking people and killing them. And I decided, I better get armed and get trained. And I just jumped into the training head first. And after I did, I ran a daycare for over 10 years, and I come across people like Tracy and Lauren both I met through work, and their stories are just a small amount of what I came across. And then the Anaya Blanchard, that really upset me. The Anaya Blanchard case, somebody saw her fighting with him and getting shoved into her car, and he didn't even call the police. He didn't call the police for 2 weeks later. And the fact is, You are your own first responder. Police are great whenever they show up, but they don't show up while it's happening. You can't carry a cop in your pocket. You have to be able to protect your own life. So not only did I get armed and get involved in bamacarry, I became an instructor so that I can train other women to protect their own lives.
Oh, really? How long did that case take?
Oh, I had been shooting for years, but I got my certification a couple of years ago. Actually, when Anaya's body was found, the day her body, and I'll get emotional, but the day her body was found, I said, that's it. No more. I'm going to get my certification, and I'm going to train as many women as I can to defend their own lives. Because as we can see, strangers stand around with a cell phone now and record your murder. They don't do anything to stop it. Police cannot get there quick enough. It is up to you to protect yourself.
Good point. How long does it, when you train a new class, how long does it take for them to become, or get a card saying they're trained, or how long does it take to go through it?
To become an instructor?
Like when you have a training class or you have people you're training, how long does it take to train them?
Basic classes are anywhere from 4 to 6 hours. I have 8-hour classes because they go through universal safety is number one. It also goes to the dynamics of a violent encounter and the aftermath. Talks about how your brain and body function during an adrenaline rush of a violent encounter. We talk about situational awareness. We talk about how to avoid putting yourself in a situation where you're likely to become a victim. And a lot of it is situational awareness and prevention, but then you need to be ready, God forbid, you ever had to use your firearm in self-defense.
Do y'all do anything with long guns in the training, or is it just primarily handguns?
Oh, yeah. Instructors train everything, all kinds of firearms. I particularly, my preference is handguns because the ladies carry concealed, and I prefer to train ladies because of my passion of them being able to defend themselves. You know, even if you're married, your husband's not always with you either.
Have you ever fired an AR?
I have fired an AR. No problem. You know, I don't particularly care for shotguns. You know, I don't like all of that. I don't like the kick of a shotgun, and AR is simple. People talk about ARs like they're these big killing machines. You are likely to be more accurate with an AR, which makes you safer in a defensive situation. So you're not having, you know, missing and hitting somebody, an innocent bystander. You are to know your target and what's beyond and what's around your target.
Your group, bamacarry, they're, I'm guessing, very involved with local legislature and legislators and stuff like that, and get this bill passed.
Yes.
Do you think it's going to pass this time?
I think we have a better chance than ever. Last year, Proncy Robertson passed the database bill that is supposed to have all the prohibited persons are going to be on that database bill. And bringing that up, let's discuss finances, okay? The sheriffs, first of all, everybody's not just going to say, oh, well, I'm not going to get a permit anymore. Most people will keep their permit for reciprocity. You know, I'm right here by Florida, so I'm crossing that line all the time. I need my permit for reciprocity with Florida. Yep. But, you know, it's the women like Tracy and Lauren. And I met a man yesterday, 72 years old, who was arrested in college for smoking a joint. And he has an arrest on his record for drugs. So he was recently, 52 years later, denied a permit. This is an elderly man that stands out on the corner and sells hats and flags and whatever, and goes to flea markets. So people know he has money and he's unarmed and can't defend himself. How fair is that?
I thought they had changed that to its shall issue state, that as long as it's just a misdemeanor, they're supposed to issue it.
No,
Still,
a sheriff can deny you for even a suspicion that you're a drunkard or a suspicion of domestic violence.
so a 72-year-old man, he wouldn't give a pistol permit to.
Right.
Wow. And this is the same sheriffs that are wanting to keep pistol permits in place for claiming loss of revenue, but then
But now, Francie Robertson's database bill, they charge an additional $50 fine to those on the prohibited database, and $40 of each one goes back to the sheriff. So that should cover
really,
the net.
Yeah, that should take care of I mean, how much money are they really? I don't know. I just have to look, because I know one guy was telling me that they're
$1 million. Most are over $1 million.
Most the county sheriff's departments,
Yes.
or statewide.
No. Each county. I mean, they're all different. Obviously, Mobile is a large county. Baldwin County is a large county. Jefferson County is a large county. So your smaller counties are going to bring in less.
Right. Okay, I see what you're saying. Let's see.
Ironically, I believe it's Blount County, Sheriff Mark Moon. He said that he absolutely supports constitutional carry because it's a constitutional right. And he does say, yes, it will cause him to lose some revenue, but he still supports it because it's a constitutional right. That's what you call a constitutional sheriff. They took an oath to support and defend the Constitution.
Yeah, Mark's a good guy. He was in high school. Let's see here. Oh, yeah, you're going to be in Montgomery?
I am going to be in Montgomery January 13th at 12 o'clock.
Is this supposed to be one of the first that are paid? I mean, is this going to be one of the first bills that's debated?
Should be. I mean, I don't know. They can change that at a moment's notice. I just know the GOP caucus sent out a press release that it was going to be a priority.
Okay. I think that's all the questions I've got, Kim. Is there anything else you'd like to add to it?
I just want to say again, I want to reiterate that we do back the blue. We do support our sheriff's departments, our law enforcement. We want them safe. Permits don't do it, and there's been no proof that it does. And like Mark Moon, he will gain more votes because of his constitutional position, whereas these other sheriffs who are fighting this tooth and nail, they're going to lose votes. Because it's time that Americans and Alabamians start supporting constitutional officials in every field.
Yeah, and that's a great point. And let's see, I was trying to think of something else. Because I said that $1 million, and I think that's spread out. That is a lot, but I'm sure we can make it for it in other ways.
We'll have to look it up, but I believe I saw Mobile County was $1.3 million a year, and it's discretionary funds.
Okay, because like I said, we want to keep our blue safe. I mean,
yes, we do. And I believe it was that sheriff that mentioned, bulletproof vests and things like that. Bulletproof vests don't have to get replaced every year.
Right.
How many times are those? I mean, I understand that they need to be replaced when they're hit, but how many times does that happen? I would like to see an itemized, detailed list of what is spent with that permit money. we had a 1 cent sales tax or gas tax, and our roads is supposed to have been going for our roads, and they are still pathetic.
Yeah, they're still in bad shape.
You know,
So how many people or how many members do y'all have? Are they in every county or just like regions, state?
we're in the whole state of Alabama, so I don't know how many are in the whole state. I can get you that information, but we have
Or how big it was?
we've joined forces with other freedom groups.
'Cause I know Alabama has a lot of gun owners in the state, so I figured it would be a pretty big organization that you had there.
Mhm.
So y'all do anything like funding for any particular candidates, or is it just all just word of
No,
mouth? Kind of.
I don't believe so. No.
Well, all right, Kim, that's about all I think I've got. If you don't have anything, I'll get this article written up, get this published, and I'll see you in Montgomery.
Okay. Thanks.